Hello, my name's Melissa and welcome to Teach, Read, Play. Today's video is going to be about teaching throughout lockdown and I hope you enjoy. Please remember to comment, like and subscribe, turn notifications on to see more content like this. So, throughout this lockdown, this is the third lockdown that we're in. I am currently a teacher in a London school, and since hearing Boris Johnson's announcement about the school closure, I was filled with dread and anxiety. Now, I think that most of us agree that it was the right time for schools to close, or potentially we could have closed beforehand. Although I really wanted schools to close to ensure the safety of our children and our local school community, I didn't actually want to not be able to see the children. I battled constantly with the thought of wanting our children and their families and the staff to remain safe throughout the pandemic, as well as ensuring that the children had a great opportunity of fun and exciting learning in class. When we found out about the announcement, I remember being sat there on Wednesday evening, listening to the announcement and wondering if our school would be closed. I was almost certain that our school would be closed because of the local area and the amount of positive cases. Now, finding out that school closed made me feel really anxious about what things would be like. Firstly, the first lockdown I really struggled with at times, and actually the first lockdown, I'm sure most people will agree, it was challenging in multiple ways. So initially I found myself struggling with the lack of routine, not being with the children. I also then struggled to continue with working from home because as a teacher it's so difficult and so different to what we've ever known and been trained in. So taking all that learning that we were used to doing in the classroom and bringing it online was a real challenge. However, as time went by and we were still going into school, engaging with the key worker children, things became a little bit easier. During this lockdown, I feel like I've prepared the children for remote learning the best way that I could. So in our first term back this academic year in September, I ensured that the majority of my lessons were taught using technology. It was really important that I could equip the children with the skills that they needed. However, since the school closure, you notice that the children aren't maybe as confident at using all platforms of social media. And also you notice that actually some of the children don't have a device at home, and that really stops them being able to access really good learning. Since not being in school with the children, not only have I really missed the children, but also I've missed just the routine of the day and actually just the interactions that you have with the children. Being a teacher is probably the most rewarding job in the world and I absolutely love it and I'd never change it. But what I've really been struggling with is when everything that's taken away from you is the things that you love about your job. So during this lockdown, I felt that I haven't been able to engage with the pupils in the same way. I've been working relentlessly to provide the children with really fantastic online learning, using lots of different platforms such as Google Classroom, Google Hangouts, Google Meet, Apple apps, Nearpod. These are all different things that I've been using to help the children engage with their learning. What I've tried to do is to ensure that the children are still working at the Year 4 level that I'm at in school at the moment, but also being able to engage in the current curriculum and also access the learning at home without it being too challenging. But the realities of this has been quite challenging. So firstly, what it meant for us as a teacher when schools closed, it meant that we had to stop in our tracks. Initially, we were 2 weeks ahead of planning. We were ready and prepared for going back to school. However, when we found out that schools were closed, it meant that we had to replan, change absolutely everything that we had, because we had in mind the parents at home working with their children and also potentially working from home, and how their parents will be able to engage with the children and their learning. Lots of the concepts in Year 4 are really difficult to grasp. And since the children had so much time off of school, it was really crucial that we continued to support and foster their learning. So what we did as a team in Year 4 was to really work with the children and the parents to come up with our own way of creating a timetable and lessons that were pitched absolutely accurately for our children. It was crucial that we were able to rehearse some of the skills that we'd been learning in class. So that was some basic skills like spellings and times tables and reading, things that we were doing every day, and to encourage them to do that at home. But in addition to this, also providing some learning with long writing outcomes and also some challenging maths concepts. This hasn't been easy. We've had some of the children come back to us and sending us messages saying that they're finding their learning really challenging. Throughout this time, our whole team have also been very unwell, which was another struggle for us. But as teachers do, and they always will continue, we put the children first. And we continue to provide some really exciting lessons against all odds. It was challenging, to say the least, and there were some times where we thought that we just couldn't do it anymore. But we found our feet eventually, and we're in week 2 of lockdown learning, and we're starting to provide live lessons for our children so that the children can go onto a meeting with us and see us live and ask us questions. It's absolutely crucial that we're still modelling how to work out some of the calculations that they're doing, or modelling how to show them to write for a particular genre. Now, I understand that we've equipped the children with the skills that they acquire for Year 4. However, we need to always, as practitioners and parents as well, remember that children are not in normal circumstances as well at the moment. So in terms of some of the lockdown learning, there's been some work that I've seen that I've been absolutely blown away by. And then some other work that I've seen that I think that the children could do better with. Am I going to say that they must do better? Definitely not, because what I'm so passionate about is making sure that they're okay, and their well-being at this time is absolutely crucial. Children are going through really uncertain times, and even at school today I was asked by so many of the children about when we'd be going back to school. This absolutely broke my heart. I couldn't give them a definite answer, and I wouldn't even try. So instead, we just came up with a game and wrote down our own dates, and we'll see what happens. But it's been a really challenging time, and I think I speak on behalf of the majority of teachers that I've spoken to. But what I would like to say is, what a great community we have made. We now have links with parents and carers in a way that we've never had before. I'm absolutely overwhelmed by the love and the support that I've received from some of the parents at our school, and also for some of the community online. It's been amazing to see parents and practitioners come together and to also create this foster and love of learning, even when it is remote. For sure, there's definitely going to be some challenging times ahead. And I know things aren't necessarily going to get easier, but what I will ensure is that we will do our very best to make the learning as best as it can be. So if that means to continue to provide live lessons, then we'll do it. If we need to continue to provide extra resources, then we'll do it. All that we ask for is a little bit of support, and we're getting so much of it, and that's really helping us to continue. Myself, well, it's been a challenging time. It's been really, really challenging. And knowing that I'm responsible for the learning of all these pupils just makes me feel like I need to do everything that I can possibly do. But in this time as well, I've been really thinking carefully about myself and what I need to do as a person as well. Now, I can't provide perfect education for the children. There is no perfect, but all that I can try to do is do my best. but also with that, looking after myself. So some of the ways that I'm trying to cope with this lockdown, some of the things that I do to help myself, is I read a lot. That's been really helping me. I've been taking part in lots of outdoor exercise, which has been really good. I've been chatting with lots of colleagues and just reassuring each other that things will be okay. I've been making the most of social media and connecting with my family and friends online, and also creating a really lovely network online with other teachers and parents, and I've absolutely loved every minute of it. So it's a rocky road, it's not over yet, and I definitely will be posting more vlogs about how everything's going, but at the moment we're starting to find our feet, and I think that there is a bit of hope ahead. So let's hope for the very best in the future. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a thumbs up and a comment below in the comments box, because that really helps the video to grow. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.